What is up, everybody? It is the World Heavyweight Champion, everything vibey, man, leader of the Wolfpack, your boy Mature the Servant, and we are here for another episode of Rap-Ology. And I got a special guest in the building, y'all. Listen, I don't think y'all understand what's about to happen right now. Like, this is a super dope episode. And listen, there are only two ways that you could be tapped in with us right now. The first way is through the audio waves. That means you on Spotify, you on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, your granddaddy's radio in the basement somewhere. You are tapped in with us on that streaming platform, and I appreciate you. And the second way is through the YouTube channel, which you gotta subscribe, you gotta like, you gotta hit the notification for the Maturity Productions YouTube channel, where you can get all the shows from this Rap-Ology to Not Very Mature Podcast to the movie Leper to the series Die For This, all the content on the Maturity Production page. So make sure you guys tap in and you get that info. Also, listen, I gotta shout out one of my sponsors, my homeboy over there in Pontiac, my boy Sean P. Yaktown, don't back down. Shout out to him, 18 East Lawrence, Pontiac, Michigan. Go check in. Listen, spring around the corner. I saw him pressing some hoodies for the last little bit of this winter. He got some shirts on the way. Y'all tap in. Check out my boy Apparel. Now, for the third, listen, the audience is happy back there. There's an audience y'all don't see. You know what I'm saying? But the audience is happy, man, because for this episode of Rap-Ology, we got the one and only, the artist, producer, slash cameraman, slash writer, slash my favorite rapper. Listen, it is the one and only Anwar Sadot in the building, man. Y'all make some noise for him.
Appreciate it, man.
What's the deal, man? How you feeling, man?
Feel great, man. Feeling good.
Good, man. So, welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? Long time coming, man. For those who don't know, Anwar and we go back, way back to our college days. Shout out EMU, Eastern Michigan, man. We were sweet mates. You know what I'm saying? We had conjoining rooms. And literally from that moment forward, it done shaped everything that's happening right here. You know what I'm saying? So super dope to have Brody in the building. So, man, let's just go ahead and make this clear, y'all. Anwar is one of my favorite rappers, and this is why I had this button for him.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Listen. Listen, man. But let's get into this interview, man. So, Anwar, talk to me, man, because I guess I've never asked you this question, and I've never even known this story, but what got you into music, bro? Like, I feel like I met you at the catalyst of you kind of discovering yourself artistically. But, like, did it start in college? Was it before college? Was it growing up? Like, what was it?
Man, so I started making music when I was 15.
Okay.
I started at 15. I think it was my sophomore year in high school.
Okay.
You know, that's when I really, like, you know, because I always was a fan of hip-hop music and a fan of music in general. You know, growing up listening to Eminem, Kanye,
okay.
You know, those were like kind of like the foundation, Nas and that too. But then it started definitely in high school, you know, just seeing other people rap and stuff, and then, you know, you get in ciphers in them, and then after school, and then it just come to like a everyday routine when you just gotta have a verse every day to be ready. You know, Be in a cipher, so you just gotta stay ready, and then just kind of just stuck with it.
Okay. Now, did you? I think every artist has this moment. When did you know, like, you were actually good? Like, when? Because in the beginning, I think we all know we think we good, but there's a point when you kind of realize, like, no, I'm actually good at this. Like, what point was that for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. It had to be right before I released 3 years later.
Okay.
I think that's when I felt like I had another level.
Okay.
At another level, lyrically and just songwriting ability, just, you know, my voice, you know, when you record on the mic, just everything elevated.
Okay. Now, what is one of the, if you remember, first songs that you wrote? Like, what was the name of it? What was you talking about? Because I think it's funny, man, as kids, like, we be rapping and we be talking about stuff that I know we don't know nothing about. We just trying to like ride the wave, you know what I'm saying? But like, do you still remember your first song, or maybe even the first few songs that you had written?
So like when I first started writing, I never wrote a song. Like I was always
Really?
like I would literally take like a song that's out,
Okay,
and just take their flow and just change it into mine, just so I can like figure out how to even like, start rapping and stuff. But like,
really? So you was taking like I don't know.
So I guess I would take like a T.I. verse, a T.I. song that just
Right.
And the way he rapped it, I would try to mimic how he rapped, would just change the words so I could start figuring out how to do this.
And that's how you kind of got into like writing. What?
Yep.
That is crazy. Because it's almost like imitating. It's like it reminds me of like people who try to learn English. And so they say like they'll watch movies. Like Jackie Chan said it.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan talked about like he didn't know English. He would just watch movies and then repeat what they were saying in the movies to learn English. So it's like that's kind of dope that you was doing the same thing with rap.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would download the lyrics. Like say if it was like an Eminem song,
okay,
I would download his lyrics and just put them on the computer and then kind of like see how he structured his bars, and like I figured out how to like work on rhyme schemes, you know, like just internal rhyming and stuff like that.
That's crazy. I did none of that. I did none of that. That's scientific stuff. I did none of that. That is crazy. See,
that's why he's the GOAT.
Listen,
the GOAT.
but to answer your question, the first song I put out was a song called "Enemy."
Okay.
I did it with it was another artist. I did it with, but yeah, it was some corny stuff. Like I had sample like the South Park. You ever seen the episode when it was the Canadians? They were talking about, "I'm not your friend, guy." He was like, "I'm not your buddy, guy."
Man,
I'm not
yes,
your guy, friend. And then like that's kind of how like
that was the whole. That is crazy. Okay, so actually, let's kind of get into around the time, because you said your sophomore year in high school, right? So by the time you get to a senior, you get into college. Had you already started working on maybe a mixtape or nothing? You just at this point was just not even battle rap. You was just freestyling.
You can kind of say it was battle rap. Like, it would be like 4 or 5 of us in a cipher, and then like everybody looking to see who got the best verse and whatnot.
Okay.
So, but it was more so just to get some expression. Like I didn't really have really much outlets when I was growing up. Like I did basketball, but once I was like done with that, I started getting into more of the music. It was just a way to express myself growing up. I didn't really like had the concept of like writing like albums until like I got into college.
Okay.
But I did used to have a journal where I would like write like a track list. Like each sheet would be like a different track list for a different album. So I would have like ideas and stuff, but I never like went to the
brought
studio.
them to life. Yeah, okay. So what made you get into that place where you like, okay, I'm about to work on my first album? Because when again, this is going back to our history. When I met Anwar in college, like we met in a freestyle circle, you know what I'm saying? But what was it that made you kind of start seeing like, all right, I need to take this artistry to the next level and actually create a project? What was what was the motivation to do it, and then what was that process when you started doing it?
Ooh, so seeing other people, man, I would say like I don't know, you know the artist Nave No Bleak.
Yep.
So like seeing him, man, just kind of like just learning from him, just seeing how he had a project out, and it was just like a complete track list, a complete story told, and everything. So I just tried to emulate that. And the process of it was very hard because at that time I was making my own beats, so I was just trying to figure out the production side and also the rapping side as well. And just kind of just learning, trying to figure out where to record the stuff and trying to figure out what sounds good and stuff. So.
Now, what got you? Because again, I think for me, like I tried the beat making thing. I suck at it, right? So I was like, not for me. I got more so into the engineering side of things, right? What was it for you that took you from rapping to starting to make your own beats?
You know what's crazy? I never told nobody this story.
It's first time exclusive, y'all.
So it's 2 parts to the story. So, so one is one of our homeboys, Zoo.
Yeah.
You know, he actually got me into producing. He showed me how to work at studios and stuff. But he just showed me how to use it. I never had a computer. I never had a speaker. So I think that summer after that freshman year, I stayed up to get a computer, and I was about to go buy a speaker.
Okay.
And as I was buying the speaker, the guy at the guitar center was like, it's $200 per speaker. I'm thinking it's for the whole package and stuff.
Man, because boy, you be.
Oh my God!
It costs how much?
Man,
Jesus, yeah.
But he was like, I guess he just, just fuck with me. He was like, yeah, just take the other one for free.
Get.
Oh my God!
Cut it out.
So I ended up having both speakers, and I was just hyped after that. So
Yeah.
I ended up saving up to buying a MIDI, a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah.
Just worked on it every day. Like that summer, I couldn't say how many beats I made.
Just relentless.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do because for rap, I think the music sometimes helps you kind of figure out where you want to go. When you engineering, the song in totality helps you kind of figure out where you want to go. Beat making is just out the blue. Like that's literally you like I hear a horn and you just start making horns do stuff. Like what is your kind of inspiration or creativity process when you trying to think of a beat? Is it something you've already heard before and you take that and kind of makes it your own? Or is it just you literally have like you can hear music that you just start creating?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. Sometimes you do hear stuff and you be like, oh, how would this sound? And then you might be playing with it and then just figure out, okay, this sounds different if it's sped up or slowed down or if you change the pitch of this or something like that. But then also I got a certain sound too where it's just some like I generally make what I would like to hear.
Okay.
So that's kind of I like the chill, mellow, kind of melancholy, type beats and stuff. So that's what I tended to make.
Okay. No, that's what's up. I think it's super dope, bro. Like I think people who make beats, I just be like, bro, your brain got to be braining somewhere else, cause you just listen. Sheesh. Shout out to the producers, like shout out to producers, man, for real. Especially because like when you watch something like Straight Outta Compton, you kind of just see that like how Dre was, how Cube was, and just how they kind of create stuff just like off the whim. Like I'd be like, bro, I've had FL 3 times. 3 separate times, and I'm telling you now, listen, it is no regret.
Fatality.
Done. Every time, bro. I have been slaughtered, bro. Slaughtered by trying to make a beat, bro. I can't do it, bro. So
it's kind of like making a song. You gonna have to get through that first process where you making a bunch of trash stuff and then just trial and error. You gonna realize like, okay, this is what I got to do to make something sweet.
Listen, I did the trial error.
Fatality.
I did the let me commit 3 months.
Fatality.
I gave up. I was just it ain't for me. It ain't for me. But man, so let's actually talk about that first project, man, because I remember around that time when you was getting ready to start doing it and seeing you kind of we spent a lot of time writing songs that have never seen the light of day, that was supposed to be on an album that got taken off and all type of stuff. Listen, the amount of songs that people will never hear that was written on a page somewhere in a notebook.
It's crazy. I put a whole tape out of just unreleased songs and it's still like not even scratching the surface. Like,
it does not even scrape the surface. It does not. You would have mixtapes galore of just unreleased stuff.
Crazy.
But what was it for you, man, that like when you got ready to do this project, you know what I'm saying, coming up with the name for it, what was your concept idea behind it? Because I think, and I say this all the time, bro, your music is some of the most anticipated stuff. I feel like you just Kendrick's best friend or his brother or something, because you pull exactly from his playbook. You be making us wait. And so it's like the name of this project, I mean, it was just like, bro, yes, of course. And so talk to me about this project, man, your very first one, and just what was it like committing yourself to something like this?
So I don't know if people know, that was my second project.
Really?
So, but it's called 3 Years Later for a reason, because I kind of denounced my first one. It's literally called
Oh my God!
This man just said, I actually have a first album that's hidden somewhere in the vault.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where you can find it. I really don't.
shit. I don't know where it's at.
It honestly might be on like Daft Pit. Remember back in the day when
Wow, Daft Pit, and shout out to Daft Pit because my first album was on Daft Pit. My first album was on Daft Pit, man, and I was like, "Oh, this is the place to be."
Nope.
And Daft Pit, man, I think they closed their doors or rebranded or something, but
I don't know if you can still sign in.
I don't know if you can. I know that before they did, I grabbed my album off of there because I was like, it's gonna be gone. So go ahead.
But I dropped that first project and it got horrible reviews. Like,
wow,
terrible. I'm talking about some of my closest friends telling me like I should just stop rapping.
Oh my god.
Like,
Oh my God.
God damn. Okay, that's tough. Go ahead.
And the quality wasn't up to par. Like,
okay,
it was just a bunch of stuff I feel like I could have done better. So that's what kind of like made me drop to make 3 years later. It took 3 years later, and this is like the growth.
Wow. Okay.
My music. So
genius.
Yep.
See.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
This is only he would come up with this stuff. Okay, go ahead.
But no, that's pretty much the project, and it's more so just like to show people that I've grown as a rapper, but also as a person too. Like the last song, the actual song, 3 years, I talk about like you can see the growth in me rapping, but it's also just talking about like the journey that I got to this point, and just the lessons I learned, the people that I made, I met, and
right,
just how important, valuable, your friendships and your relationships are.
Okay. Well, listen, let's go ahead and let's not waste no time. Let's get into one of the first tracks, which is Heartbeat, man. And again, I remember playing this album like for 3 years because you made us wait for so long. I remember playing this thing for 3 years because he made us wait for so long. And I think, man, to see the growth from this album, which I thought was the first one, which now I know wasn't. To see this album and then see you now, it's like, bro, like if you only knew that 9 years later or whatever, like, this was crazy. Like, so the growth between 3 years to just seeing, like, bro, years later where you are now, like this album still holds up because it's still so authentic, so genuine, it's so real. It does not feel fabricated or forced. It feels like you was just, again, displaying your creativity, which now I think you do it at such a higher level. But this album still holds its own. Like it does not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, listen.
It was perfect.
I appreciate it.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
You know what I'm saying? Down to the last minute, like Homelander said it best. So let's go ahead and get into this first track. It is the Rap-Ology podcast, man, here with my homeboy Anwar Sadot, man, breaking down just his career, his music, his life, and everything else. And so this is Heartbeat off of that project 3 years later. Let's get to it. Yeah. We are back. It is the Rap-Ology podcast, man. It is the world heavyweight champion, everything valuable leader of the Wolf Pack, the man who is forever cool, forever calm, and forever sexy. Y'all know the taglines, man. It is mature to serve it, man, and I'm in this boy with my man Anwar Sadot, man, and that right there was Illuminated, first played by Heartbeat, man. Man, listen.
That's why he's the GOAT.
I don't know.
The GOAT.
I don't know what I just. If y'all just, I told y'all this man music still hold up. Like this is crazy. But with that being said, bro, like, what is it, man? Like in that place, bro, where, and I guess this is more so, I guess, of a personal question. How have you balanced from your college days up until now? Like, how have you balanced that struggle, even that you talk about then, that I still even hear in your music now, where you talk about the challenge of being this creative, this artist with these dreams and aspirations, but then battling, having to deal with real life, working 9 to 5s, having to take care of family, having to be there for friends, having to deal with stress or depression or anxiety or whatever, and but still, like, I got all this stuff that I'm trying to do, but I gotta live like a real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, how have you personally dealt with that as an artist? Because for all artists, I think we all have that tormenting tug of war. But what has it been like for you, and how have you like navigated those waters?
It took me a while to get to this point, but you get to the point where you start loving the journey.
Yeah.
You start realizing, this is something that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be struggling. You're supposed to be going through these hardships and stuff, because that's life. It doesn't hold any punches for nobody, regardless if you got a dream or not. So you gotta get to the point where you gotta make it happen, regardless of how you feel. Regardless if you don't feel like making no song today, or you don't want to go to the studio. You just got to get again. You got to get in that mind state where it's either this or nothing.
No, that's real. That's real. I think that is, it's the drive.
Yeah.
It's the drive, like that consistent drive of knowing, like, man, I gotta put gas in the tank in order to keep going. Cause I know so many artists, man, like they grow up, homies of mine, we all been artists. They grow up, man. They start having, families, kids. They got people to take care of. They start working, jobs, doing doubles, and before you know it, like they don't even do music no more. Like they didn't let that part of their life go, and it's like, that's cool. I respect that, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do what you got to do,
Right.
but it's also heartbreaking sometimes to see like super talented people who just have something that you always want to listen to, but they can't do it because, man, I got too much stuff over here to handle. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely I agree with you, man, like about just having to motivate and gas yourself even when you don't want to, or staying hopeful even when you don't really feel that way. So
Yeah. It's just even if you got to go slow, just everybody got money at their own pace. I already know how it is. Some days you just might not even eat just because you want to save a little extra money just to get to the studio on one day. So everybody got their own different type of struggle. They got to figure out how to make it work so they can be successful.
No, for sure. And with that, like, let me ask you this question: what for you now? Has this, and this is just, I'm gonna ask the question, but has this perspective changed since college, or has it been the same since college? But for you, what is Anwar's definition of being a successful artist?
Well, this perspective definitely had changed over the years.
Okay.
I would say I'm more being in like just the music industry and just writing music, and then also being where we're from and everything. You got to be able to have thick skin. You got to be able to be resilient. Just to get through the life.
Facts, yeah.
So, but and then the second question was, you were saying, what was this? What was the second part?
What is success for you, like now? Like what was it then? What is it now for you?
It's always kind of been the same. I want to be able to turn my life to the point where I can make everybody around me, either successful or be able to have some type of consistent income for them where they don't have to worry, that much. That's success to me. But then there's levels to success too. Will I be, if I get to the point where I'm able to to take care of my bills? Am I still gonna be worried about if I don't have the number one album out in the world? So it's just different perspectives in life. First things first is just to get everybody off the ground, make sure everybody eat.
Right.
But personally, and I would say just as a selfish like desire, yeah, you want to be like known as the best artist in the world, or just be known for just being great.
Yeah. Indeed, man, and I think that's super. Like I've always had to like kind of rethink what was success for me as I've kind of went forward, because I've been in a place where I thought like this is success, but then I've done things where I was like, no, this is success, but then I've also looked at people above and been like, well, maybe that's success and I ain't got there yet. Like there's so, like you say, it's levels to it, but I think if you have I've always said my one definition for success is finishing something all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Using my gifts completely. Like if God gave me a gift, I want to be able to use it and then say I used it. You know what I'm saying? And if it impacts somebody, that's even more of a success, because empty art is just empty art. Like if you just put out a song and it don't affect nobody, it doesn't reach nobody even understands where you coming from or talking about, it's kind of like, what was that for? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just empty art. So,
Right.
so I agree with you. Now, the beautiful thing, man, about I think the whole journey is not just what we do, but then who we do it with. You know what I'm saying? And I think us both growing up in the college days area, we had a whole network of artists that we was kicking it with. Shout out to Tom, Gary, and everybody else, man. Like everybody know who they is, man. Shout out to the entire team. But for that alone, man, how important is it to have that circle or that system of artists around you? What do you take from that? What do you get from your colleagues and your partners in the music industry? But then also, how does that help fuel you competitively? Because I think one of the things that's dope about having a circle is you learn, but you also want to be better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You also want to be ahead of the class, but you also learn from those in the class. And so, how's that been like for you, man, working alongside all of your peers who have different styles, different raps, different motivations? But then, so what do you take from it? But then what do you also do to tell yourself, like, I do want to stand out? You know what I'm saying? I do want to have that position of like, people are looking at me for something because I'm at a certain level artistically, creatively. What is that like, having that circle of peers that challenges you but also motivates you?
I love it actually. Where it's like, especially when you get to hear like an unreleased song from your peers and something, it's just like, damn, like, it's an opportunity and it's also a blessing, to even do that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I need to step my game up. Especially if they played you something like crazy.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't necessarily look at like any of my peers as like, as I would say, not necessarily composition or like inspiration, but more so like, if I'm comparing myself to someone, I'm always gonna compare myself to, where like at the top, like the Kendricks or the Drakes, or that's even though I'm not on that same level as far as like, fame or status, you always want to compare yourselves
Right, to the top. Yeah, the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's for sure, for sure. Is there one song by a peer of yours that you heard and you was just like, damn it, I should have made this song? Like,
Hell yeah.
I want that song. Is there one like that you've ever heard that? Or a couple of them. I mean, I know for me it was Headlights. This man right here.
That was crazy.
Along with shout out to our boy Tom, Joey Trey. Shout out to him, man. These two. I will tell you this as going first in this conversation about that. When I heard this song, I was on my way to work, first off. Early as hell in the morning, going to work. And I'm like, there's no fucking way these dudes wrote this song. Like, there's just no way. And it was like the music itself was already dope, but you guys both perfectly walked that boy down. And it was like, I already was like, okay, Joey Trey come on there tripping with his vocals. And I'm like, get out of here with that. And then you come second verse with the bars. And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm cooked. It was literally one of the few times I've ever was like, bro, how did they write this before I did? Like, how did I not think of this? How did I not come up with this? Where was that beat at? I was looking for it. Like, that was one of the few times I was just like, God dang, like my bros got a hit, and I was so mad. Like,
man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for you, is there anything that was like that for you?
So I got 3 songs.
Okay,
3 songs in mind by 2 artists.
Okay.
One is by Nave No Bleak.
Okay.
He got a song called Eyes on the Road.
Okay.
Man, like, and that song is probably like 12, 13 years old.
Really?
It was literally like one of the songs that like I probably like changed my life.
Really? Okay.
It like changed the trajectory, how I looked at music, how I like even like was just rapping. Like,
yeah,
it was just that impactful at the time.
That's great. Shout out Nave No Bleak, man. That's crazy.
And then my boy Asaka the Renegade. He got
shout out Saka, man. Saka he another one.
Man, he got shit. He got a song called Heaven's Interlude
Okay.
on his mixtape. I mean, on his album called Euphoria. That's just
Ridiculous.
man. What? Like some rapper performances is just like timeless.
Man, okay.
He got another song called Afraid on his first mixtape. And it's just incredible too. Like it's just I can just appreciate like just the rap performances. Just the harmonizing, the melodies, all of it, the lyrics, everything, top notch.
Okay.
So go check those out if y'all ain't heard those yet.
Yeah, check those out, man. Shout out to both of those fellas, man. Dope, super dope artists, man. Super dope artists. For you at this point now, what do you think are as the total package of an artist, from whether it's the production, the writing, to the videos, to the live performances? What do you think at this point you would say are your top 3 strengths or your top 3 weaknesses that you feel like you still trying to perfect as an artist?
That's a good question. As far as with my strengths, definitely songwriting.
We know that.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
We know that. That's it.
Stupid, man. Songwriting. I will put rapping ability.
Okay.
And then after that, I will put my ear for production.
Okay. Listen.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Hey.
But it's a lot I still need to improve on, like just outside of the music, performing.
Okay.
Performing is a huge one I want to get better at.
Okay.
And also just making content around the songs. Like I want to get to the point where you have a song and you got scheduled releases where you can drop content around this a certain topic, or just to keep the song alive. You don't want to just drop and let the song die a week later or whatnot. And then also have another follow-up plan after that, like what's the next song gonna be about, or are you gonna drop a music video with this one?
Mm-hmm.
Or just however you play it, just have a plan.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I think, man, as an artist, that was one of the hardest things for me to even understand, was that once a song is created, like, it's so much more after that. Like, I used to just be like, I made the song and it's hot, so there we go. And it's like, man, the marketing side of things, the content creating side of things, the being able to know how to draw people into the content that you're making, like even just videos and the creativity of them. Like, man, it was like, I got a lot to figure out. Like, it was just like, I thought I was there, and then I woke up one day, it was like, no, I'm not. I was just like, man.
We all just woke up one day like, damn, we got like 5 other jobs we got to do.
Man, because, and it's so crazy because it behind you is a CD duplicator. And I remember I bought this duplicator like right at the turn of digital music. Like, I was like people still was pushing CDs, but like that Spotify, Apple Music was just on the horizon of like people was getting into it, but they weren't fully sold. And I remember I bought this duplicator. I'm like, man, I'm about to backpack. You know what I'm saying? Fill the backpack up with CDs. We about to hit the streets. I was gonna hit all the college campuses and just be like, here. And by the time I got the duplicator, got my CDs, got the labels to go, the covers to go on the CDs,
streaming,
niggas was like, streaming music is dead. I was like, streaming what? I ain't know nothing about digital streaming music. I'm like, who? Man, and it was like, that was a whole new journey. You know what I'm saying? Of like, the artistry game changed at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like,
yeah, I remember those days where we would go out and actually like pass out CDs. Like,
yeah,
that was a time period.
That was a thing. Like, here's a CD, and people go pay me $5 to $10 for this thing or whatever.
I think I still got Joey Trey, one of his first mixtapes, like when he's passing out his students.
Man, listen, I had one. That Nick of Time. Joey Trey, shout out to you, my boy.
Yeah,
that one, nigga time. That's not the one that I should have had on CD. That boy, he know to this day, Joey Trey, you know to this day. And that's the thing that I love about the artistry thing and even having a circle, man, is I've gotten to see you and so many of our peers just become so better. So better. Just like from as they say, from unhireable to undeniable. Like literally just become these just like juggernauts where I'm like, that guy's cold. That guy, I can bank a song on these dudes. Like, and that's the super dope part. Let's talk about Clarity, the album. Because to me, at this point, I was like,
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I said, listen,
This motherfucker don't miss.
I said Clarity was that one. And I think Clarity just was such a strong project, such a strong album. And I think when we talk about it, this is just my personal musical opinion, but when we talk about totality, beginning to end, concept, just theme, music, feelings, just what you walk away. When we do that discography thing, and somebody says like Kendrick's Pimp, How to Pimp a Butterfly, or they might say Mag, it really is really Mag. Man, City Kid got Mad City. It's really that's the Apex project right there. You know what I'm saying? For Drake, it's like Take Care is that Apex project. You know what I'm saying? For you, bro, it's like if I'm gonna argue anybody down, like it's Clarity is the Apex, boy. Like that, we trying to beat Clarity every time. Like that is it just feels like to go production wise. I think quality of the sound was just top tier. How did you go from 3 years later into Clarity? What was that transition? Because you can hear there's a whole nother person in this project that's a lot more vulnerable, a lot more transparent, has dealt with a lot more real life than the 3 years later Anwar. Two separate Anwars, still kind of the same message, same vibe, not even two, but there's a lot more different sounds on here. You got a lot of features on here. What was that transition into this project that makes it, I think, one of your most best projects?
So where to start? I think it comes from at the time being on campus, you're around so many different artists. You get to just kind of just feed off that energy,
Right.
And that's why it was a lot of features on there. But far as with the direction and just like everything about that, it was. I wouldn't say it's the same thing where I took time off and then I came back to show how much I've grown as a person, but it's still showing that, but it's more so I felt like that point I was at a point where everything was just super clear. That's why I called it Clarity. Everything I felt focused and to the point where I was able to see where I was going. 3 years later I felt like I grew as a person, but like what do I do now?
Right.
After you grow. Where do you take that knowledge and where do you go?
What you do with it, yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like Clarity was like, I'm finally picking a direction. I'm going somewhere with this and stuff. So, and then just the production, I feel like the production was a little bit, better as far as beat making, the songwriting. I kind of took a seat back with like lyricism, like going too heavy.
Yeah,
on
for sure.
But
Yeah.
I tried to make it as best, like far as like just the songwriting, the songs themselves, the structures and everything. Trying to just make the best overall song instead of just straight spitting bars and whatnot.
Was that a personal decision, or was that a kind of response to how people felt about 3 years later, where people kind of was like, hey, super dope rapidy rap, is there more that you can give us? And you kind of like, okay, let me try to stretch myself. I know for me, every project I have, I can point out a song to 3 songs on a project where it's not typical mature type of thing. I was trying to stretch myself to see if I can create this type of song, spit this type of flow, give this type of vibe. So I try to test myself on every album with a song that's not my go-to. And so I try to do that to try to just give variety, but also kind of let people know like I'm trying to grow as an artist. I'm not just staying stagnant to what I'm good at. And so for you was that, let me go from rapidy to more, let me kind of create these songs, these structures, these hits, and then Was that more of a response from people, or was that more a personal choice to kind of stretch your own self?
That was a personal choice, but it was also just a natural choice too. Like I it was, I can't go back and write 3 years later again.
Okay.
Once I'm out of that time period, that it is what it is. That's what makes the songs classic, or makes the songs go back to listen to, because they were real emotions there. It wasn't anything authentic. Same with Clarity. Just I guess I got to a point where I wouldn't say I wouldn't care about lyrics, because I'm always gonna care about lyricism, but I started to care about other things. I started to care about my hooks more. I started to care about melodies more. Just the structures of the songs. I started to care about making sure I'm having the right features here and there.
Yeah.
The positioners on the songs, track lists, everything.
All very important. Yeah. Definitely. Well, listen, man.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Come on.
The GOAT.
Listen. It is the Rap-Ology podcast, man. I'm here with Anwar Sadot, the long-awaited interview that I've been so excited to do, man. We are about to listen to some songs from the Clarity album. Again, one of my
This motherfucker don't miss.
Don't miss. Listen, one of my favorite albums, man. So y'all take a minute, man. Listen to these songs, man, and then we'll be right back after this. Yeah. And that is Clarity. Listen, that to me, I'm gonna tell y'all, when I first listened to this album, this was the first track that I repeated more than once, because the way that this goes from just spilling your heart out to the choir and the angels is just be okay. This song made me cry. That's how powerful this song was. That's when I was like,
that's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
That was a Clarity. I mean, it is one of the most powerful songs I think I've heard you do. What was because I don't know, out of all the songs, outside of maybe one or other two songs, this one feels like just the most transparent, vulnerable. Like, I don't even feel like you were trying on this song. I just feel like it was just like, hit record. Like, you just was like, I got this. Like, what is the tone difference, I guess, between a song like Drown and then this one here?
It's just I don't know. It's just something I tap into. Like it's like another level of emotions. Like I've always been the person to just wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I've been able to tap into them. Whenever the time needs and stuff. And then Drown is a different emotion, more so like it's dealing with a particular situation with someone I used to have a relationship with, versus with Clarity is just an overall perspective of like, where am I at in this situation in life?
Right.
I think that's a little bit more deeper, where it's like I could touch on so many different aspects of an emotion, just because it's so many people can relate to this more than just
right
something else like that.
No, for sure. It's definitely one of the ones, man, where boy.
And shout out to Sam Watson, who killed that, at the end, just singing on there. Like,
and here's the crazy thing. Didn't know at first. When I'm first hearing it, I'm thinking like, is Anwar doing this? Like, what is happening? But shout out to Sam Watson, man, because he another talented man, just out this world, man. And it just like, well, Sam, you made me cry, because at the end with all that, you would be okay. I'm like, I will be okay. I will be. It was like, and it's super dope, man. Just, I've been dealing with failure, to say the least. I've been working 2 jobs just to pay the least. I didn't even work 2 jobs, and I felt that line as if I did, because my one job was enough. Like,
at the time, I think I was working at Sam's Club. I was working from like 4 a.m. to 12:30. I get off work, I go home, sleep for maybe an hour and a half. Go. I had this other job at what the fuck was it called? It was some factory job I had called Palio, just putting pieces on cars. But it was from 3 to 3. So I would literally get off work at Sam's Club, get like an hour and a half sleep, go to work. Hope I get off on time so I can be back at Sam's Club the next day. It's crazy.
Working 2 jobs.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Yeah. Boy, listen. As we transition, man, like, so one of the things that I think is unique is after Clarity, you kind of actually start to dabble in some new sounds.
Yep.
And it's been one of the things that I think as an artist you've talked about in your songs as moving forward about how you've always, and even from 3 years later, you kind of talk about it. You've always felt like this outcast within your own city as far as your creativity and your artistry, where it's not the typical artist, it's not the typical sound, it's not mainstream, it's not what people want to hear. And then you go to this journey to the left or the right where like now you really have stepped outside the box of what people expect an artist to be or make music. And I think it's become some of your most creative music. But I know for you it's also been a challenge because just like going from Rappity Dab to let me make actual music to now let me go into another genres with it. Like sheesh. This man is a journeyman. Like what again, where do you go with that, man? Like how do you say to yourself, I kinda have a comfortable pocket in Rappity Dap because there's enough hip hop lovers to keep me in here. Then you like, well, I'm make some hits. So now you kind of going mainstream. You kind of doing something that's go broaden the crowd.
Right.
And it's like once you done got both them and your crowd, you like, man, fuck both y'all, and you just go into this whole pop sound, like this whole. What was the drive for that? Because I think now, when I think of Anwar the artist, that's what I really see, and that's to me is kind of like it's almost like that's where you were supposed to be this whole time. And now you finally found this perfect lane of being Rappity Dap mainstream pop rock. Like it's just like it so it's super interesting, man, to see how like this journey is guiding you here, but it feels like you've landed like in the perfect realm for your creativity. But what made you want to do that shift?
Man, I don't want to say sometimes, well, I always look at the greats again, like when I look at Kanye reinvented himself every album. Like when you look at Kendrick reinvents himself every album. It sounds like I don't want to say it sounds like a different artist. It's just
right.
It's a different, it's a different person because they it's not just they're not just putting out music. They're growing with their music and stuff. And music changes over time.
True.
What people like and the sound of songs I liked 10 years ago. I don't even have in my playlist now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's just how the progression of my sound went. Even if you look back at some of the stuff on 3 years later, Clarity, like this stuff is not, I wouldn't say different, but it's a different sound, but it still has that same core emotion to it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. But definitely I couldn't tell you what got me here, but I'm glad I'm here though.
No, for sure. Listen, man.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Y'all heard it.
The GOAT.
Y'all heard it. Listen. I think it's super dope, man, to just see you kind of be this crossover artist almost in a way. You know what I'm saying?
I could tell you like a few like artists that like helped me get here, like just like more inspiration, like definitely like MGK, Trippie Redd.
Really?
Yeah, like
these are some names that I did not expect you to say. This is okay.
Yeah, for sure. Shit. Who else? Just definitely that type of sound. Like
yeah. Definitely interesting because I would have not. If you $1 million, I would have lost it because I wouldn't have guessed MJK and all.
But it's not just them. I got like, of course, you got
Trippie Redd. That's interesting. Yeah.
There's so many artists I like, but it's just at the end of the day, what do I like to listen to? Like I make music for me, and then I put it out there, hoping the world likes it. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Now you've had a chance to get out here and go different places. When you went to, I believe it was New York, right? And that was for music.
Right.
What was that experience like for you, getting outside your city, being in another city, and just experiencing? I mean, it's New York of all places. What was that like? That experience for you, man?
Man, it was one of the best experiences of my life. Like it
Okay.
was crazy. It was just being on the road and just music driven, and just it felt like you were really like out there chasing your dreams type shit. And then also just being in New York. I've never been in New York. Even when you go to like different restaurants, you'll see like it'd be a McDonald's, and then on top of the McDonald's, it's people living in the McDonald's on top. So it's just the way people live is differently. Like the culture, like even when you go on the subway, I'm arguing with people on the subway. Like just the New York culture is just different. Like it's just more fast paced. It's more like everybody's just in a rush. But I love it though. I love like the city atmosphere. I love just being around that type of stuff. I guess that's where people always say that's where hip hop originated from. That's you kind of feel that when you in New York too. Like it just felt hip hop.
Okay.
I had a blast though down there.
That's what's up. What is one of your fondest memories as an artist? What is like your top 3 if you have, like, when you look back on your life and on your career as an artist, you look at these 3 moments and say like, I'm really grateful I got to have this moment in my artistry. What are those 3 moments for you?
That's tough. Damn. I would definitely say when I dropped both Clarity and 3 years later.
Okay.
Just being able to finish something, that you committed to was definitely an achievement. And if I had to say after that, I would say my biggest achievement, I was able to perform in front of Delicious. Which was pretty dope. But I still think I got a lot more to show for.
For sure. Now, how did you come across that? Like, was it a competition or something?
Yeah, it was a competition.
Okay. Like, and how do you feel when you get up there and you connect? You perform with the audience and stuff like that. What goes through your mind as a performer that when you're out there? Are you trying to, obviously you want to connect with the crowd, but like, how are you doing that in real time inside of your head? Like, are you trying to like, okay, let me see who rocking and try to connect with them people? Is it like, let me just get them the best performance from myself as an artist just up here moving? Like, in those moments when you performing, like, what is kind of like going through your head? Are you trying to remember the words? For some people, they trying to hear the music. Like, they be all over the place. Like, what is your mind state like before you get on stage and then when you're on stage?
So just making sure that I'm engaging with the crowd. Making sure like if whatever I'm doing in the crowd, if I'm moving around, making eye contact. Even if you connect with somebody, you see they vibe with the song, just vibe with them, and then that creates an even bigger vibe where everybody else want to join in and rock with the song too. So just having fun out there. Try to be as free as possible, but at the same time, just remember like it seems like it's fun, but it's also you still doing work in it.
Right.
So okay. You kind of just work in the room.
Okay. So this is kind of this is you have Clarity. What follows after Clarity?
So hold on. So
because you made us wait for a long time. When I say that this man is the king of making you wait, I have been on his head for years. Where is that? I'm gonna come find you.
No, for real.
I'm gonna come find you and I'm gonna fight you. Where is some music at? Give me something. I've been all through the SoundCloud and everything else. Give me something. So after you did Clarity, talk about the things that you did afterwards, project wise, that you kind of started to focus on.
So I did a project where you can call it a project. It was more so just a bunch of songs I had in the vault, and I just put them in a structured format and I released it. I want to say it was a decent project, but what I'm working on right now, I got an album coming out later this year we call Sad Boy.
Sad Boy.
Yep. And it's a totally different sound, but it's something that's, how can I describe it? Like it's something that you'll just have to see. You'll just have to wait to see on that. A few of the songs off the album are out, which is Skating Alone and Escape. It's a more pop rock, but it's also still having me connected to my roots with rap as well too. So you're gonna get a lot of different variety in that album for sure, and a lot of emotion and a lot of like just great music.
Okay. Now, with Sad Boy, if somebody said, "Give me the one song that they gotta hear
Off of that album,
if off that album," if they say, "I don't want to hear a whole album. I just want one good song that you know is your best one on that one." Which one you telling people to listen to?
it ain't out yet.
That's what I'm saying. When they come out, what's something what's the one that you know is like y'all need to hear this one?
London Bridges.
London Bridges. Okay, y'all heard it.
London Bridges.
When it dropped, London Bridges. You got a date?
Not a date yet. Summertime.
Summertime though. Okay, summer 2025, man. London Bridges. That's the track y'all. If you see it on the list, start there or start from the beginning, because all artists want you to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
But if you're in a rush, okay, go on straight to London Bridges and check it out for sure. Man, and it was super dope. We got a chance to work on some music ourselves. We're gonna talk about that. But we go first get into this song, Skating Alone. Then we got Escape, featuring Gary. Shout out to Gary. Shout out to our boy Gary, man. For these songs with this album in general though, when you say Sad Boy, what's the story behind this album? What is somebody trying to listen to and take away from it when they get done from beginning to end? What's the narrative that I should be able to listen for and say, okay, this was what Anwar was trying to tell me on this project?
It's about how to deal with pain.
Okay.
A lot of people have different outlets, with dealing with pain and just finding out the healthiest ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many experiences I can just tell you, and just like this is not the best thing to do this at this time just because you're going through this. It's different ways. If you have to seek therapy at times,
right,
or just talk to somebody, it's you don't have to just do it alone.
For sure.
So it's definitely that, and just finding ways to get out of your darkness situations.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get into Skating Alone, and then we go come back, talk some more about that secret album on the way called Paradise. It is your boy Mature the Servant, World Heavyweight Champ, sitting with your man's Anwar Sadot. Let's get it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was not ready. I was over here vibing to the song. I ain't gonna lie, that is a jam, man. Shout out to Gary on that Escape, man. Again, bro, it's such a different sound, bro. Like, and I get that like people aren't so I guess ready for that type of sound. It's almost like you right now you ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like people are kind of making songs like these, but they ain't yet became the norm. Like, it's not what everybody is craving just yet. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you hear it, undeniable. You know what I'm saying? God.
That's why he's the GOAT.
That's it.
The GOAT.
This motherfucker don't miss.
That's why I had to just be like, get to the point where I gotta make music for me. Like,
yeah.
I can't drive myself crazy on what everybody like and what everybody don't like. So,
mm-hmm.
And then it's also relieving when I make the music too. So for me, like it's therapeutic.
Right.
It's a lot of pain, especially in this album that's coming up. So just being able to record and put the music out is a win for me. So.
For sure. Indeed, man, indeed. And with that, man, we got a special project that's on the way, man. Paradise. The long-awaited Mature Anwar Sadot collab album, man. What has been, for you at least, what has been the exciting about this project for you, and what you kind of look forward to with it?
It's shit, man. We rapping our ass off.
Facts.
But no, it's definitely a vibe. It's a vibe. It's crazy bars, crazy lyricism, great songs on there. Like it was fun, man.
No, for sure, definitely is. Listen, it's up there. Yeah. It's up there, man.
Oh my God!
And that's all I think when I just was listening to it, like all the way straight through. I'm like, bro, what do we have on our hands here? And then of course, the last song that we just finished working on for for the album, man. Not enough is
Crazy.
great. That's crack. It is crack. I've been listening to it like every day. I'm like, bro, just when I thought we was done, like at Paradise, and I'm like, cool, great way to kind of wrap it all up. This man shows up with not enough. I'm like, well, there it is. Like, that's how you end an album, because boy, and this ain't necessarily gonna be the last song, but it's like that's how you kind of like, what do we do that's gonna be better than that? You know what I'm saying? Moving forward, like for the project. So, man, super super dope. I think one of the challenges for me was trying to not so much because I was letting somebody hear some of the album and they were like, man, you guys really work well together. And I was like, yeah, I think we kind of in the same bracket of space. Like we orbit around the same planets musically. I don't think it's that far apart, but I think one of the challenges was trying to find the commonality in like our writing styles, as far as like, okay, not doing so much that I throw the song off when it's my turn, or you know what I'm saying, like making sure like, okay, when it's I have a verse, I gotta, if I'm following second, then I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I keep whatever you established first, while also probably giving something new or different so it don't sound so repetitive or the same. But that just blend and balance was like kind of just from song to song, because they were so different. That was the kind of the challenge, but it was that was to me the like fun part, but the challenging part as well. You know what I'm saying?
It was definitely the fun part. Just kind of like, I want to know what he writing over there. You know?
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then like even with like Not Enough, this man just came in here with that song. Like, here it is. I'm like, Jesus Louise, I gotta come off the dome. Like, this is crazy, but man, super dope stuff, man. Is there any is there anything that people can look forward to outside of the music that's coming up? Is there anything else that you probably got in the works that people can be looking and getting ready for?
I actually got I'm about to host a rap cipher.
Okay.
It's gonna be at a certain location. It's actually about to be next month.
Nice.
We're gonna host a rap cipher with a few rappers. And then see how that go. But, after that, mostly just the music right now.
Okay.
Still working on content, just making like short videos and stuff like that.
Definitely. I seen you just launched the BeatStars page.
Yep.
So congratulations, man, for that, man.
Appreciate it.
Got the y'all go check them out on BeatStars, man. Anwar, Sadot, man, y'all check them out. You know what I'm saying? What is, so before we leave, I gotta get your opinion on it. This is Rap-Ology. This is all about the music, man. What was your thoughts about the Kendrick and Drake and Cole, but not Cole because he left, but he was there in the beginning beef that all happened?
Where to begin with that that crazy shit. Kendrick won by popular demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he won.
He just he won. He won. There's not.
That to me, that was the best battle in hip hop history.
Man, okay.
To me, off rip, we never seen a battle like that where they were dropping songs like just.
We was getting them almost every week.
Friday, they were both dropping 3 songs. Friday, wake up Saturday, Kendrick dropped another song.
Crazy.
And Sunday night, Drake dropped the response to that. So it was a time to be alive for sure.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't like the hate that either side is getting off of this.
Okay.
Based off of like who won or lost, but I mean it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, if Drake goes out and makes another like the album he just dropped, You know, it's
Right.
the one album in the world right now, so it definitely didn't affect them losing the battle or whatnot.
Okay.
And Kendrick has always been Kendrick. Kendrick is always gonna be, you know, one of the greatest MCs that ever lived. So they didn't lose. I didn't think neither one of them lost anything, but you know, as far as the battle, Drake lost, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay. Now, how did you feel? Did you feel any way about J. Cole kind of like starting off but then backing out? Because a lot of people was like, "Bruh, what you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
did you feel a way that he backed out of it? And do you think if he would have stayed in it that he could have won?
So how I feel about him backing out? I mean, when it happened, I agreed with him. But then as time passed, I got to see like, okay, maybe he should have stayed because like I don't think Kendrick is as close with you know Drake or J. Cole as he said he was, especially with J. Cole. Like, you know, J. Cole saying that's your brother or whatnot, but your brother don't diss your brother. You know what I'm saying? So J. Cole should have went at him just off of that alone. But what he didn't. But and I'm glad he didn't, because you can see all the bullshit they've been dealing with after this battle. So he's smart for not to. But and then the second part was the second part.
Do you think he could have won if he would have stayed in it?
Nah. And I love J. Cole. I think J. Cole is the purest rapper out of all of them, out of the big three. But I got my money on Kendrick on that one.
Say the whole way, it would have been Kendrick either way.
It's just I don't think J. Cole is what's the word? Like, you got to be scathing when you like drop this. Like that's what gave Drake an edge. Like, people can say whatever as far as like Drake's like lyrical ability, but Drake he's a person where whatever he writes, like the bars he writes, is very scathing.
Yeah, he can be ruthless.
There you go.
He can be ruthless for sure. He can go there. Like, he ain't got no problem going there.
I can't see J. Cole taking it to hell. Like,
Man, yeah.
Like when you see Kendrick and Drake hit that button, the elevator to go all the way down to the basement in hell.
Okay.
J. Cole elevator only go down on the first floor. It don't go to hell. Like,
it don't even go to hell. It go to like the waiting room right outside of hell, where like you technically can just go back to Earth and then probably go to heaven.
that's just him. But pen wise, you can't say he not in their class at all.
Man,
like, you look at the stuff he just dropped yesterday.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So
it's crazy because it's like that. J. Cole's whole part of it is one of the biggest what ifs. Because it's like, what if he would have stayed? Like, to some degree, people feel like the whole battle, the Super Bowl performance, it just ruined Drake's career to a degree. People feel like Drake does not hold the same cachet no more. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you was the undefeated king, you the undefeated king. Once a king gets beaten in battle, it's like, he the new king. Like, so it's like you can't come back like, I'm still the king, because it's like you was until you ran into him. Now we got to look at you a little differently. So it's like people say like Drake's career kind of took a hit as far as how we view him in the the chronicles of hip hop, as far as like where you would have probably retired number one, like this loss just brought you down a peg. Like, and so I look at it like, would J. Cole's career have suffered? It felt like it started to suffer in the beginning because people was like judging him for backing out and being like, oh, you didn't want no smoke. You not really big three. You not this. But I think longevity wise, you can't just get rid of a J. Cole overnight. But I wonder if he would have done the battle and lost next to Drake, would that also have kind of made it worse for J. Cole? It's a really big what if. Or if J. Cole would have slaughtered both of them. Like, if he would have just took them both out the game, we don't know what a pressed J. Cole. I mean, I guess we do know what a pressed J. Cole looked like. We kind of do because he backed out. But in a sense, it's like we don't really know what a pressed J. Cole going all to just him hitting the elevator button. Like, what does that look like? So
never know.
It's a huge what if, man. It's a huge what if. But man, tell people where they can follow you, man. Tell them where they can get into your music and follow your social media and stuff like that.
So it's the same username for all of them. Anwar Sadot is ANWAR SADOT. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, everything.
Definitely, for sure, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Coming through
man.
to the Rap-Ology
Thank you for having me.
interview, man. The man himself, man. Listen, I'm gonna hit it.
That's why he's the GOAT.
I'm gonna tell you one more time. I'm gonna tell you,
Motherfucker. Don't miss.
don't miss. He perfect.
Everything. Down to the last
minute job. He get all the buttons. Listen, all the buttons before we get up out of here. Shout out, man, to Yaktown Don't Back Down, my sponsor, man. Shout out to him. Y'all go check him out. 18 East Lawrence, Pontiac, Michigan. Y'all go to yaktowndon'tbackdown.com. Holla at your mans. Let them know that I sent you, man. Also, man, again, y'all go check out Leopard, man. The movie is out, Leopard.
Right.
2 months old. We had 37,000 views, man. And that's because of all of you guys who support the YouTube channel, Maturity Productions, where you gotta like, you gotta subscribe. You got to notify yourself to the channel. Shout out to my co-host, Chief Fierce, over at the Not Very Mature podcast. We got an episode coming for that as well. Y'all keep tuning and supporting us with that. And with that being said, man, I'm going to bless y'all. Bless y'all listening on the audio waves. Because if you're watching this visually, I can't play none of this music. You just getting all interview. But that's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Just go on over to the Spotify, the Apple Podcast. You go over there and listen for the music and check my bro out. But we gonna leave y'all, man, with a sneak peek from the Paradise album with your man's Mature the Servant, my homeboy Anwar Sadot, man. We got this song called Big Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Big Smoke. He already know what it is, man. So y'all check out, man, Big Smoke, man, and we will catch y'all on another episode of Rap-Ology, man. I love y'all. Peace.